Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Steve Kinney. I'm a producer, engineer, and content creator here in Nashville, Tennessee. I now have roughly 6,000 subscribers at this point, and some of you I've connected with. It's been awesome getting to know you guys over the last year and a half, 2 years that I've been on YouTube. Again, thank you guys. I think that's pretty cool. For those of you that I haven't connected with yet, what I do is I offer these one-on-one services where we connect via a application called Landr Sessions. And Landr Sessions is really cool. I like it a lot. It's been great. I've been using it for roughly about 6-7 months now. And it allows you to stream DAW audio on both sides of the call, which is great if you're working with like session musicians or if you're collaborating with bandmates on the other side of the country, right? Or the other side of the world. It's a cool service, right? Well, anyway, so a few weeks back, a really cool guy from Landr actually reached out to me. Now, I'm always really humbled when a company decides to partner with me or reaches out to me and asks me for my opinion. I'll be the first one to tell you that, you know, as much as I've learned, I know that I've still got an endless amount of information and skill yet to be gathered. So, you know, I do the best I can on this channel to help you guys on the other side of the camera, and Landr has now asked me to do that for you guys now. So what this video is not is a paid opinion. My opinion is not for sale. There's been many companies that I have been asked to partner with that I've turned down because, well, quite frankly, I just didn't believe in their product or their services, so I didn't even bother with it. So already kind of going into this video, I had a high opinion with Landr Sessions. I thought, hey, I don't know much about their effects suite. So when they reached out to me and they told me a little bit about it, I was quite excited. Now, I'm a professional content creator and producer, engineer. What that really means is that my time is very, very, very vital. So if a company decides to partner with me to make a video, that means that I have to take time away from clients, AKA I kind of have to be compensated. So while this is a sponsored video, again, it's not a sponsored opinion. I'm not getting paid to say anything is good or bad or whatever. This is basically just a trade of my time. Now, I'll say this, I am a huge sucker for really, really simple hardware as well as really simple plugins. A great example of this is the Studio D plugin by UAD, which is based off the Roland Dimension D. I love it because it's either on or off, or you get a little bit more of it or less of it. Super easy to use, very similar to the Dolby 361s, which are one of my favorite pieces of gear ever. It's either on or off. You can't get any simpler than that. I know a lot of people kind of start searching all over YouTube to go, oh, how do I use XYZ compressor? Or, you know, how do I do this, right? It's because the gear is kind of complicated sometimes. Mixing doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple. In fact, I think a lot of times it's better when it is simple. So that's what these plugins are, and we're gonna be deep diving them, and I'm pretty excited about it. Now, like most sponsored videos that you'll find on YouTube, Landr has decided to be quite generous. I'll get into specific pricing later in the video, but if you want to see what the offer is right now, there's a link in the description below. Landr has a few really cool services and they're priced pretty well, but their best one, the All Access Pass, includes everything that they offer at a ridiculous price. Mastering, distribution, samples, an application or an instrument called Chromatic, which I haven't used yet, but it looks really cool. And they even include Vocalign, I think, Studio or Vocalign 5. Again, go check it out, links in the description. So that's about it for the housekeeping. Let's dive into the actual video. So first, who or what is Landr? Landr's been around since 2014. They're a self-proclaimed platform. I guess they're a company, but they're more of a platform dedicated to creating tools for artists, streamlining distribution, mastering, and collaboration. Among the tools that they offer for artists, it's also a really cool place and convenient place for a one-stop shop for how-tos, such as how to mix, how to master, how to get your music on streaming platforms, TikTok, you name it. From what I've seen, they really do a good job of trying to offer value and not just have things to sell, which makes sense being that they claim to be a company comprised of real musicians and real engineers. I think us creatives really like to stretch ourselves in terms of what we offer our clients, so it makes sense that they would do the same thing as a company. And I think that that's a good thing. That reminds me a lot of Universal Audio, which again, those guys there, they really care. You can find them all over the internet interacting. Drew at UA is insane with the kind of knowledge that he shares. But anyways, that's besides the point. That's for a different video. So let's take a quick overview of what LandrFX is. With the LandrFX suite, you get 5 plugins included in this bundle or the effects suite. You get the acoustic, the electric plugin, bass, beats, and voice. Now we're obviously going to be diving into these with examples and we're going to try them out. But I have spent some time with it briefly before making this video, and so far they've been pretty cool. The main thing that I've kind of gathered working with these plugins so far is that there really aren't any rules. They're kind of like just coloration that you can add. And while they kind of categorize each of the plugins, I've used them across different sources and you get really cool results. So if you want to use the bass plugin on like a vocal, you totally can do that and you get really creative results really fast. Again, more of it, less of it. That's awesome. Now, before we deep dive, I have a session pulled up. I spent seriously like less than 5 minutes trying to dial this in, and I like the results that I got. I did that on purpose when I was fooling around with the plugins. I want to see how quick you could really work with them. Now, I can't play the full track with the vocals because I would get a nasty email from YouTube, as this is a client track. But I took everything off the mix outside of a few little EQ moves from FabFilter. So needless to say, this should give you a pretty good idea of like what a before and after might sound like if you're just moving really quick. All right, so here's the session so far. You can see I've done just some very simple stuff. I've got a Landr Beats plugin on the kick and the snare. Let's take a quick look at it. Here's the preset that I use, deep kick. And again, you either have less or more, and you have input, output gain. In the plugin window, you can also increase the size. I think that that's really cool. I like to work in 4K. I'm not screen recording in 4K, so it looks massive on the screen here. So I've got a plugin just on the kick, snare top, on the bass, on the acoustic bus, and also these are the only signal sources that we have. So drums, electric guitar, acoustic bass, that's it. And then I also have one of the electric presets on the master bus, and that one is called Glue, and I've kind of fooled around with the input, output, and the blend. But this is what we've got. So that's kind of the overview of what the look of Landr is. Here's the before. So what'd you think? Leave it in the comments. Again, I did this in like seriously under 5 minutes, and I thought it's pretty cool. What I did, again, we got a Glue preset. Seemed a little bit like a G-bus kind of thing. The bass, what did I use on the bass? Bright Octaver, that's cool. The snare one, what did I do? Punchy snare. Well, that's exactly what you got. Super punchy snare. Yeah. Let's listen to one or two of these. Here's the snare. Kind of like 1176 kind of thing, right? Let's listen to snare dry. It's cool. Super bright snare. Might leave it like there, right? Some deep snare. That's just great. I mean, you don't have to think about it, right? You know, want a bit of verb? Try that. You want a plate? Let's try a plate. That's killer. I mean, what more can you want from a plugin? Just keep it simple, get it out of the way, move on to the next thing. I'm telling you, the faster you move, the more fun making music is. All right, so let's do something a little different here and just create, right? Let's see how fast we can create something. Way too fast. It's a little fast. Let's do like that. Kind of like that. That's cool. Sick. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Under candlelight. Da, da, da. And dreaming. I'm still dreaming. She got me feeling so cold at night without her warm touch under candlelight. She got me dreaming of the possibilities. She my one click preset fantasy. I'm dreaming. I'm still dreaming. I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming. Tennessee, I'm dreaming. I'm still dreaming. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk pricing. Now, Landr offers each of their segments of services as almost like a standalone. So for example, the landrfx suite, you can pick up for $99 right now. It's about 30% off. Landr sessions you can get for the year at about $50. $50 can also get you 1,000 or so credits on their samples, their sample service. That cool beat app Chromatic you can get for $90, or the All Access Pass, which has all of that and a few other goodies, you can pick up for $150 right now, which is obviously really good pricing considering how they've priced all their other services and the fact that it also includes distribution and mastering. That's a heck of a deal. So if you want to learn more, again, link in the description, definitely check it out, read through it with a fine-tooth comb. It's a good deal. So who would I really recommend this service or this effects suite or the whole Landr platform? Who would I really recommend this for? Well, for one, I think that the All Access Pass, getting distribution and mastering alone is worth the price of admission here. So if you're a new young artist, or if you're an artist in general, I guess, right, and you don't have distribution yet, it's almost a no-brainer. But I would say largely for the modern musician, the modern artist, you know, people that are very sample heavy, hip hop, pop music, having that included sample offering is, again, a great deal, especially at the price. Infinite downloads of royalty-free samples is always a good thing for those kind of artists. Songwriters, I am definitely looking at you for this service, for this whole thing. The Landr platform would be killer for you. Not only can you now collaborate with session musicians around the country or the world, which is obviously going to make your demos come to life a lot faster, a lot easier. But the included landrfx suite also makes it easier for you at home to do your thing, make your demos, and get a great result really quick without knowing much about production. And lastly, I would say for the artists that really like to work fast and you know, they want to get their idea out there quicker, I think it's a great route for you to take as well. Again, with all those included services, modern creators, it's where it's at. All right, so if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I'm very curious to know your thoughts on what you've seen in this video. I'm super curious to know if you want to see me partner again with Landr to deep dive their mastering service. Now, if you've liked this video and you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm, again, if you like the video. And I really appreciate it. There's a few other ways to support the channel too. If you like the content, you could go and do one-on-one sessions with me, which again is the whole Landr sessions thing. So if you want to check it out and give it a try, just hit me up and we can have a session. And if you're a Universal Audio user, I have my Console Classics and Heritage Classics pack also on my website that you can check out. It's a great way to support the channel. It's a great way to learn how to use UAD plugins. It's a great way to learn some of the basic techniques that mix engineers like to employ. But until next time, fellas, cheers. Thanks for watching.